Swimmers injured in dolphin attacks on Japan beach. 4 swimmers have been injured in dolphin attacks on a beach in central Japan, officials say. One man, in his 60s, suffered broken ribs and bites to his hands after a dolphin rammed him a few meters off Suishohama Beach in the town of Mahama, Fukui Prefecture, early on Sunday. Another man, in his 40s, sustained arm bites in a separate incident on the popular beach the same morning. 2 more people were injured by the mammals later in the day. Fukui has now recorded 6 such attacks this year, local police say. Signs have been put up telling swimmers to avoid approaching or touching the mammals. While dolphins are not usually aggressive to humans, hostility towards swimmers is not unheard of. Scientists have suggested that wild bottlenose dolphins find swimming alongside humans incredibly stressful, finding evidence that it disrupts their behavioral routines. In the Republic of Ireland, 2 women were injured in the space of 10 days in 2013 by the same dolphin, including one who suffered from a broken rib. A year later, 5 swimmers had to be rescued off the Irish coast when a dolphin encircled them aggressively. As well as hostility towards humans, dolphins are known at times to behave extremely violently towards their fellow sea creatures. In Cornwall, southwest England, a bottlenose dolphin was seen flipping a porpoise into the air as part of an aggressive attack. South Korea flood. 9 bodies recovered from flooded tunnel. Rescuers working to reach vehicles trapped in a flooded tunnel near the South Korean city of Cheongju have recovered 9 bodies. Floodwater caused by days of torrential rain poured into the underpass so quickly that passengers and drivers were trapped in their cars, unable to escape. At least 37 people have died in total after flooding, landslides and power cuts across much of the country. 9 people are still missing. It is unclear how many people are still trapped in the 685-meter, 2,247 feet, long tunnel in the town of Osong, but 15 vehicles are thought to be submerged. Several of the bodies were recovered from inside a bus. 9 survivors were rescued on Saturday. The victims' families say the deaths might have been prevented had the local authorities responded effectively. Several local media outlets reported that a few hours before the tragedy, the River Flood Control Office had issued a warning about the alarming water levels, and therefore the traffic around the tunnel area should have been diverted. Most of the other fatalities were in the mountainous North Gyeongsang region, where landslides swept away whole houses. Almost 300 millimeters, 11.8 inches, of rain is reported to have fallen across South Korea on Saturday. The country typically sees 1,000 millimeters, 39.4 inches, to 1,800 millimeters, 70.9 inches, a year, according to the Korean Meteorological Association, although much of that does fall during the summer months. Aerial pictures from flood-affected areas show brown mud and floodwaters so deep, only the tops of roofs can be seen sticking out. Thousands of people have been affected by evacuation orders issued by various local governments, and Prime Minister Han Duck-soo has asked the military to help with the rescue efforts. Early on Saturday morning local time, some 6,400 residents were evacuated after the Gosan Dam, also in North Chungcheong, began to overflow, the agency said. A number of low-lying villages near the dam as well as many of the roads connecting them were submerged, leaving some residents trapped in their homes. Deadly floods sweep Asia in intense monsoon season. 4 ways climate change is affecting the weather. Late on Friday, a landslide caused a train to derail in North Chungcheong. 1 engineer was injured, but the train was not carrying passengers at the time. Korail, the country's national rail operator, has announced the suspension of all slow trains and some bullet trains, and said other bullet services would be disrupted. The Korea Meteorological Administration forecast more rainfall through to Wednesday next week. It warned that the weather conditions pose a grave danger. Extreme rain has caused floods and landslides across several countries, including India, China and Japan, over the past fortnight. While many factors contribute to flooding, scientists say a warming atmosphere caused by climate change makes extreme rainfall more likely. The warmer it becomes, the more moisture the atmosphere can hold, resulting in more droplets and heavier rainfall, sometimes in a shorter space of time and over a smaller area. Additional reporting by BBC's Yuna Koo in Seoul.